liksom inga hörlurar heller.
Oj, jag dör.
I'm a goner.
First and foremost, the bug that has been plaguing Tarkov for years now, Desync. I'm putting this first because I'm not actually sure if Desync would be considered a bug. I suppose it is just simply the culmination of BSG's incompetence when it comes to their networking and optimization skills. Regardless, when you think of problems in Tarkov, Desync is certainly at the forefront of many players' minds. Unfortunately, while researching for Tarkov bugs, I eventually had to use Reddit. It was, of course, terrible. Please feel free to make fun of me or degrade me. It's not my kink or anything. Anyways, because of the cheating pandemic, I would occasionally have bug reports like this guy. Flying in Tarkov? Bug? Which he also attached a video to.
你话费我，说你话费我。
The player Scav's inability to load into Streets of Tarkov is a relatively recent bug that was very frustrating to deal with. Although if you were a PMC in raid, and if you got lucky, you could find player Scavs just floating there, waiting to be murdered. As for a ton of bugs, this has apparently been a problem for years, evident to individuals reporting on it like this guy. We're trying to get the more common glitches out of the way first. Number 3 on the list does not really have a name to it. It's sort of a momentum glitch. It usually happens when you're walking down a hill and randomly break every fucking bone in your body. Always terribly frustrating. It can also happen if you have poor internet connection and you are walking down the stairs. So I'm going to avoid audio glitches for this video. If I listed the history of all the audio bugs this game has had, the video would be 5 hours long. Just know that Tarkov audio is laughably bad. They mess it up almost every single wipe, and it is seemingly getting worse and worse. One step forward, 2 steps back. This next glitch is actually super helpful. The ADS FOV glitch. All you have to do is free look, then open your inventory. This will lock your screen at your default field of view when you aim down sights. As you probably can tell, everyone seems to like this glitch, including myself. If BSG listens to their community, they will keep this bug in the game. Not that they never listen, but it just feels like a waste of time to fix a problem the mass majority of the game's player base enjoys. As long as it is not an unfair exploit, I personally don't see the need for a bug fix. There are, of course, several different bugs that will kick you from the server. You'll just be minding your own business and then bam, server disconnected. If you're unlucky, sometimes the game will not let you reconnect regardless of how many times you restart. Hopefully you had a teammate with you, and hopefully your kit was insured. Before we continue, I would love your help in making part 2 of this video. I'm certain there were several glitches I failed to list, and if you know any of them, please leave them in the comments. I will credit you. Alright, so imagine, if you would, the wipe just hit. There are countless server issues that need to be addressed. It can take over 30 minutes to get into a single PMC raid, which is absolutely absurd. Anyways, after the raid starts, every single scav that engages you has seemingly low-level boss difficulty. You are literally getting one-tapped by sniper scavs across the entire map. Also, through trees and angles you never even imagined possible. In a fit of rage, you go onto Twitter to report the game problems, and the leading developer of BSG, with absolutely no hint of sarcasm, hits you with the skill issue. This actually happened 3 or 4 wipes ago, and it was upsetting and ridiculous as it sounds. It has marked a prime example of the utter incompetence for the history of the odious company known as BSG. Bouncing directly off that same note, did you know that scavs flipping you off mid-engagement is a bug? I personally thought they made it as a feature, just something a low-level AI does to give you time to react. But in reality, Nikita actually admitted in an interview that they've tried to fix it several times, but are entirely oblivious on how to remedy the AI. Regardless of many Tarkov content creators constantly making endless excuses on behalf of BSG, This is yet another example of their pathetically laughable incompetence. And please, I don't want to hear the parroted statement, "Oh, well, working with AI is extremely complex, blah blah, spaghetti code." I mean, other developers don't seem to have as big of a problem with creating their own AI. But first of all, make your own opinions. Don't just take ridiculous things that others say at face value. Think critically, and I find it difficult to believe that you would come up with that conclusion yourself. Secondly, you could only argue that sentiment if your foundation assumed that, other than minor glitches like scavs flipping you off, the Tarkov AI is great. It is obviously not. Tarkov's AI is objectively abhorrent. Whether it is the average scav being able to see through bushes and foliage, all the way up to the goon squad shooting you through entire mountains and concrete buildings, the AI is janky and terrible, and it has been for years. I actually love that scavs randomly flip you off. I think that they should keep it in. But if they've tried and failed to fix basic issues like that, I'm not going to have faith in them to fix other basic problems in a timely manner, and in my opinion, you should not either. One rare recent bug in Tarkov that can occur is that your flashlight will be on and able to blind people, but on your end, your flashlight won't turn on at all. Since this wipe, because of the flashlight rework, now that will happen in reverse as well. So sometimes your flashlight is activated on your end and off for everyone else. If you've had an experience where you feel like someone should have been completely blind and then immediately headshot you, this may have been the reason. More likely though, unfortunately, they just got a lucky headshot. Here are several glitches I have found myself on customs in Warehouse 3. If you want to see more spots like this, watch this video. All you have to do is look down and jump here, and there is a wall breach that if you look down and free look, you can see through. Almost every single window in this warehouse you can actually jump through. My character strength is too low to make it through these windows, but you can make it through them, you just have to jump and then crouch. And if you're an OG to customs, you probably already knew this one. Someone showed me this, and this is how I figured out the rest of the window glitches myself. If you were playing earlier this wipe, you likely had a moment where you loaded into raid and you could see your entire stash. To my knowledge, this has been patched. I have already shown several wall breach glitches in Warehouse 3, but there have been hundreds, if not thousands, of wall breach glitches in Tarkov. They certainly could have a video for themselves, but basically, if the map designer did not place invisible barriers at all, or simply placed them incorrectly, the player could either see through walls, or in rare cases, glitch out of the map. Naturally, after wall breaches, the second thing we have to talk about is Tarkov's shoddy rendering. There are several bugged locations that if you stand in, objects simply won't render. To my knowledge, this has been a bug basically since release. With the release of new maps and expansions, the problem is only getting worse and worse. Apparently there's a new menu bug when loading into streets. I will just let this guy explain it.
Vocal exercise. Yo, what the flip? Is anyone else seeing this one trying to load into Streets of Tarkov? Cause I've never seen this one before.
I'm actually not sure why people are not freaking out about this. This proves that BSG may actually move forward with the pathetic idea of PMC karma. Another, more recent glitch we have all learned to know and love is the Invisibility Bug. I don't know how it works, but somehow other people in your lobby can simply be invisible. That includes members of your own squad. Whatever they loot will just stay there and you won't be able to pick it up. Although most things they interact with, like doors, for example, will open and close, seemingly by nothing. When it was most prevalent last wipe, you would want to pull up your Tarkov's command prompt, and if your game crashed, which it often did, it meant that there were invisible players in your lobby. It took me a while to find any information about the full auto glitch. Apparently, at the time, it was just common knowledge to players. Every time you said full auto glitch, they just knew what you were talking about. Thankfully, I did eventually find an in-depth post explaining exactly how the glitch worked. It would basically glitch out your inputs with double clicking and single clicking. This would make it so when you were tab firing while your gun was on full auto, when you held down mouse 1, it would also just single tap the gun again. Airdrops would occasionally have no sound effects. This was great as a solo player. When I noticed this occurring, I almost always got a free supply drop. Those were good times. It also made me get really familiar with the loot in airdrops, Seeing as though the entire server flocks to the landing, the loot inside is often not even worth putting yourself in an exposed area for such an extended period of time. I can find posts from years ago that mention one of the biggest bugs that seems to have been a perpetual plague on Tarkov. Regardless of how many times the developers try to fix it, the bug seems to pop up again and again. Dubbed appropriately by the community as the busy hands glitch. It can consist of you not being able to access your inventory in raid, use your gun in raid, or throw utility in raid. Sometimes there are simple fixes that you can do in your raid to remedy the situation. More often than not though, you will have to restart your game and reload back into the raid you were glitched in. Like many other glitches similar to this, if you get unlucky, there will be no fix at all. You will simply have to accept your fate. If that does happen to you, hopefully you have insured your gear and you can jump off a cliff or something, while becoming the very thing I swore to destroy, that being a dirty incel Redditor. I know I'm using the term incel incorrectly. Regardless, I came across people coining a term for what seemed to be a semi-prevalent bug, the jumping prone glitch. When looking into it, and honestly, I didn't look too hard, I found this video.
I missed it. You do it?
Alright, I'll try.
So basically, they added dolphin diving to Tarkov for a bit. It looks amazing, and I'm really upset that I missed it. The movement in Tarkov is oftentimes annoying and buggy. If you've played for any more than 500 hours, you've probably made a mistake in the heat of passion and laid down where you probably should not have. Just be careful where you lay down. As a general rule of thumb, if it looks like BSG did not expect you to jump on it, refrain from crouching or proning on it. If you do get stuck, the best way I found to get released from your position is to flip your mouse right or left and spam the inventory button. Also, of course, relogging. Apparently, a recent glitch you could basically participate in for free was a friendly scav glitch on Factory. You would just go in with your knife out and scavs would interact with you like this.
Go, Scav, let's go. Man, let me stop the music.
We pulled up 3 scavs. Look at him. Man, I just, this is so stupid, man.
Look, boys, we are on PMC and they don't attack us, man.
Should we start the massacre?
No, leave them calm.
No, where do you run? Служи on
Now let's talk about an older bug from Tarkov's past, the Invincibility Glitch. A very, very difficult glitch to find any information on. Many people have often, understandably, confused the Invincibility Glitch with the Ghost Ammo Glitch, which we'll touch on later. But there seems to have been a bug, very long ago, where people could purposefully or by accident make themselves invincible. If you did not know already, you likely will not be surprised to hear that BSG police their subreddit and community. They take down people's content from YouTube they don't like, for example, single-player Tarkov mods. They also understandably take down videos that promote cheating software, which actually made it very difficult for me to do research on my most popular video, You Don't Know What Cheating Software Can Do. When making that video series, I knew there was a very good chance BSG would take them off of YouTube with the copyright system. Surprisingly, they're still up to this day. Anyways, my point being, it is hard to find any information about a ton of glitches, and that's because the reports of bugs are too often accidentally tutorials on how to do the glitch. With that being said, I really couldn't find anything about the invisibility bug that people may or may not have abused in the past. It's hard to know for sure, but I do believe that duplication glitches have been a major problem in the past. Most of the duplication glitches are ones you cannot actually do on purpose. For example, the one where you get the server disconnect glitch and get the kit you still have on your person back from insurance returns. Because of BSG policing, it is really hard to find how people used to exploit these duplication bugs. While researching that, I did find this weird UI glitch, not sure if it works anymore. There have also been bugs where you can duplicate your own backpack and basically share the inventory space. This does seem to be a very old glitch though.
And I took his backpack and I extracted with it. And we kept he kept his gear and I kept his gear that was on me. So now we went in with the same backpack. And basically, if I put anything in there, like this, he can search the valve and take it and have it on himself. What the f***? Alright, give it back, give it back.
Bro, it's bugged.
Oh, I can't search it. Oh, then I can.
Again, desync has been terrible for years. But did you know that sometimes if you slow lean, it will desync your player model and hitbox?
Zoom in with the scope, so we can see like exactly. That's what he sees, and this is what I see. And even if I stand out more, he can't see my head at all, but I can fully see him. So now, use the pistol and shoot where my head would be. Just so it doesn't kill me.
An absurd amount of glitches are a direct cause of BSG's shoddy networking. This is also true for the infamous glitch dubbed by the community as ghost ammo. The glitch occurs when the player reloads their magazine and it is not registered on the server end. If this did happen, you could dump an entire magazine into someone and not even kill them. Now let's talk about the Era of Tarkov, the best Tarkov I've ever played, the period during last wipe, when flashlights were so glitched out, nobody used them. I've never had more fun PvPing in Tarkov than when this glitch was prevalent for about a month or so. Basically, the flashlights were glitched in a way that they were turned on no matter what you did. This is before they made the lighting a bit more reasonable when it came to light shining through walls and floors. At the time, using a flashlight meant you were consistently giving your position away. So after a week or so, everyone stopped using them. It was a time of bliss and tranquility. I truly think Tarkov would be significantly more enjoyable if flashlights would just be taken out. Lasers are fine, but man, both people not being able to see and leaving the engagement to the hands of luck is no fun at all. One rare glitch that will most likely catch you off guard is when grenades randomly have no sound effects. That moment when your teammate's down, I just died to an invisible grenade! This game is great. I just died to a grenade that had no sound effects. That is so fantastic. One of the oldest bugs I happened to come across, dubbed by the Tarkov community as the container gun glitch. What people would do is glitch their weapon, regardless of size, into their secure container, yet still be able to use them as if they were equipped. It seems like you could also do this with armor as well. The glitch was eventually patched for armor and weapons, too big for the secure container, but it seems like for a long time after, people were still able to do the glitch with pistols. This bug specifically seems to have been a very heavily abused one for OG Tarkov players to deal with, though likely exaggerated. The way they complained and reported the bug made it seem as if more than 50% of their kills had weapons that they just weren't able to loot. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. And please consider becoming a YouTube member to receive access to these rewards. See you, nerds.